I'm Lindsay, a PR consultant from Scotland. I help my clients get featured in the media, interviewed on podcasts and secure speaking opportunities. And I'm going to share what I think clients want and, of course, what they don't want. And yes, sometimes I wear my dressing gown over my clothes. It's cold in Scotland.
Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's Monday morning. I've already had quite a productive morning. I did my jog as usual, and I've just been getting through my to-do list. But today is kind of like, it feels like a bit of a bonus day, to be honest, because at one point it looked like I was going to have my little one with me all day, which has turned out not to be the case. So I hadn't really planned in like any calls or any major like pieces of work. So yeah, it almost feels like I've won some time back in the week. So yeah, I've had a list of things I wanted to get done, which I've done. And I am going to do a couple of like outreach sessions that I had planned for later in the week, just to get ahead of myself since I've got the time to do it. And some social media and some filming stuff that would have had to get fitted in at some point anyway. So yes, I feel quite chipper about that. I feel quite positive at the start of the week. I have also just signed a new client for a few weeks' time to get started then, because I just don't quite have the capacity now, but I will by then. So yes, I have to say it's a pretty good Monday morning so far. And this week is kind of like a prep week in a way. We're going on holiday in about 10 days or so, and we've got Easter weekend just before we go. So really, I have to sort of have an eye 2 weeks down the line almost at the moment, and try and just anticipate what I'm going to need to get done, what I'm going to have in place for while I'm away. And I'll probably do a little video actually around like holidays, how I handle holidays as like self-employed, as a PR consultant, when the PR world doesn't ever really stop. So I guess for the purposes of this video, one of the ways that I do it is just planning ahead as much as I possibly can, anticipating what's going to be needed and when. And so I've really just got one eye on this week and one eye on basically next week at the moment, because I'm conscious that I've got limited days. Like, I will work a few hours on the holiday days, but just because I'm working doesn't mean that other people are. So basically the people that you're potentially emailing or wanting to get in touch with aren't around. So what I tend to do on those holiday days is just set up tons of stuff and then send it out like the next morning or whatever. And then at least like I'm ahead of myself and I'm not like disturbing them on their holidays and things like that. So yeah, it's a bit of a prep week, bit of a planning week, getting things done. And I'm looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to talking through, in my experience, some of the things that clients want and some of the things that they don't want when you're working for them, when you're serving them, as a service provider. So, should be interesting. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about was, in my experience, what I think most clients are looking for from you as a consultant or as someone who's delivering a service for them. And I have to say, like, obviously I'm going to be generalising a little bit here, and there are nuances to some of this. And everyone has a different relationship with their clients. And, every client has a different relationship with their business or service provider that they're working with. But these are just some sort of general rules, I think. And I guess, yeah. The first thing, if we go through what I think clients want and then what they don't want, that's probably the best way. So number one of what they want, of course, is results. They want you to deliver the service that they're paying you for. And that needs to be your priority, no matter what. And this is a mistake that I think a lot of service providers make, which is constantly like looking for new clients, looking for the next shiny thing, creating the next online program or whatever it might be, when actually one of the most important things is to deliver for the clients that you have, so that A, they stay, and B, they tell other people that you're great, and C, so that you then have the proof of having delivered those things for those clients, which help you get other clients down the line, because of course you can't just have all the same clients all the time, but the most important thing is to focus on the ones that you have got. So yeah, they want results. Okay, so the second thing that they want is, in my experience, I think they want consistency. And for me, that means doing what you say you're going to do. If you say that you're going to ring them, then ring them then. If you tell them that you're going to send them something on a certain day, send them that thing on a certain day. Or at the very least, if there's some reason that you can't, make sure they know that. Do what you say you're going to do, because it builds not only consistency, but actually trust in the relationship as well. And they learn to almost relax a tiny little bit, knowing that if you've said you'll do it, it's going to happen. And they don't have to worry about it. They don't have to keep chasing you to check that you're definitely doing what you said you would do, because it's important. They know Lindsay said she's going to do it, she'll do it, because she always does. And that is a really, really important, almost like feeling of safety that you can give someone, that they trust that you're true to your word. So that's really, really important as well. I guess the next thing that clients want is attention or focus, I guess we could call it. Basically, clients want to feel like they are your priority. And if you're in a business like I am, where you're juggling multiple clients and you're working on behalf of lots of different people any 1 month or 1 week, this is actually a skill that you need to develop, and you need to help them understand that it's fine for them to know you've got other clients, of course, but the reality is they don't care about that. They don't care what you're doing for your other clients. All they care about is that you're doing the thing that they want you to do for them. So you have to be able to update them. You have to be able to build in a way of sharing what you're doing with them from time to time, not too much, which we'll come on to. And at the same time, you have to plan your time so that you can give their work good focus, and so that they feel like you are prioritizing their needs over everyone, and everyone needs to feel that way. So that's a skill that you need to develop in your own way. Everyone needs to feel like you're a priority. And finally, for what clients want, they want value. They want to feel that what you're delivering for them in terms of the service is worth what they're spending on your services, basically. So I think it's easy for people to come in and, have these sky high prices, especially in PR. If I talk about the PR industry, there's a lot of overcharging, in my opinion, and under delivering. And I think certainly, you should over deliver all the time, but certainly when you're just getting started, I honestly think the most important thing for your reputation is to not undercharge necessarily, but over deliver, and have, a reputation for being of good value. For what the people pay you, they feel like they get something good in return, and they're quite happy with it. And yes, your prices can go up over time, but the most important thing is to deliver value, because if someone feels like it's worth what they're paying, then they'll keep paying it. And that is what you want as a service provider. You want someone who's going to consistently show up. So if we are moving on to what clients don't want, here's some of the things that I think they don't want. They don't want excuses. Clients do not care about what is going on around you. All they care about is that you get the job done. And successful people, I'm telling you this right now, can spot excuses a mile off, because anyone who's seasoned in business or in what they do has probably done it themselves, making excuses, and learned that it's not a great sort of strategy, or they've had people working with them over the years who've done that and it's never worked out well. So don't make excuses. Get the thing done if you say you're going to do it, because clients do not like excuses. Secondly, they don't want to be bothered all the time. Clients, they want you to do your job. They want you to do it well. They don't need to hear every 5 minutes how you've spent your time. They don't need a constant updates on things, what I do is I keep a log of everything I'm doing for clients, and they know that they can see that, or I can send it to them anytime they like. But I'm not constantly bugging them all the time, because these are busy people. They've got businesses to run, they've got things to do, they've got busy lives, and the last thing they need is me popping up without any actual information to give them except a bit of an update on how I've been spending my time. They mostly don't care. What they want is an update when you've got something to tell them. And I'll maybe do like a weekly update, just a quick voice note saying here's what I've been reaching out, but not like a blow by blow account, but just like I've been focusing on podcasts with this theme, or I've reached out to this particular media. But yeah, they just don't need a running commentary on everything you're doing. So log it yourself, that's absolutely fine, but you will just become a pain in the backside if you keep updating them constantly when you don't have actually any news to give them. Okay, finally, in my experience, clients they don't want drama. They don't want necessarily to hear what's going on in your personal life, your ups and downs, or in your work life, unless, of course, I do have to caveat it to say, unless it's something, significant or serious that is, potentially like going to interrupt your life, your work, or have like a work-related sort of impact that might affect them. But in general, I really don't think clients are interested in what's going on in your life. And that is absolutely fine, because they're not paying you to be your friend, they're paying you to get a job done. And it doesn't mean that they're not nice people. I have, the loveliest clients, and we have like nice, interpersonal chats sometimes, and I know a bit about what's going on with them, and they might know a bit about what's going on with me, but mostly there's not much of that. Mostly it's about business, it's about what's being delivered, what am I doing on their behalf to help them achieve their goals. And that is what it comes down to. And I think like the sooner that you can get into that mindset that your clients don't owe you anything, you can be best friends with your best friends, right? You can get on really well with a client, and if you're not doing the job well, they'll still end the contract. And you can still be pals if you really want to after that, but the reality is that being friends with someone is not the aim. Doing a great job for them is 100% the aim, and they'll probably be in your life for a bit longer if you do that as well. And that's not to say, like I say, that people don't develop very strong friendships working with each other. Of course they do. I'm generalising here, and I'm talking about, when you're taking on clients as a service provider, these are honestly, in my experience, really important points about what they want and what they don't want. But I'd love to hear any feedback in the comments of what you think as well. Hello, so what a beautiful bright day it is here. I'm sure you can see how nice it is. It was absolutely freezing this morning, frosty, icy when I was on my jog, but it's turned out really, really nice. Anyway, just off to run a couple of errands, taking a little work break. I've got two more calls today, and some pitching to do, and and then it's the long weekend for Easter, which I will do a little bit of work because I am going on holiday the following week, so just need to make sure that I'm up to speed with a few things. It'll more be like prepping things, planning ahead, just to make sure I don't miss anything while I'm away. And I guess what I wanted to talk about quickly was links into what I've been talking about, keeping clients happy, what they want, what they don't want in this video. But just as an example of if you do a good job for your clients consistently, how that can come back and lead to more business for you. Because in the last few weeks, I have been approached by 4 different people who were either recommended to me, or my name came up in like a WhatsApp group or a mastermind they were in because of certain people that I work with. And either those people have said, oh, my PR is great, or someone said, oh, I've heard this PR is really good that works with such and such.
And literally one of them went ahead straight away. Two of them have said they're going to go ahead, and we're sort of agreed that we're going to start in the next few weeks. One hasn't gone ahead at the minute. I think he was needing to be convinced a little bit, and I just wasn't sort of needing to convince him. I thought maybe just shop around and see who else is out there if you're not convinced by me, because I just feel like, you know, when you're busy and you don't necessarily feel like you want to do a whole load of convincing. So that was the four of them. And then I've also had another person message me last night who's got a podcast saying, can I talk to him about various podcast guests that he might want to get on? And that's all from the same kind of business world that these people have come from. So really, it's not to say I'm fabulous or, you know, I mean, it's taken years and years for me to get to the point where people have heard that I can do a good job. But I certainly haven't got it all figured out, as I always say. But it does show that if you can really do a good job for your clients and focus on that, and yes, entertain new clients and, you know, take calls with them and work with new people if the opportunity comes up. But the absolute core of your business depends on you delivering results and doing a good job for the clients that are paying you. Everything stems from that into the future. So just an example of it there that I've really sort of experienced firsthand in the last few weeks. My name being mentioned in rooms that I'm not even in, which is honestly a real boost. And it's been really nice. It's been really nice to have that. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to enjoy this nice weather and I shall catch up with you in a bit. Hello. Hopefully this light is okay. Oh my goodness, I'm feeling honestly quite stressed at the moment. It's Friday. It's been a great week. I am feeling like I've still got a lot to do. I thought this morning was going to be a bit of a chilled, like, work morning, getting through a few things, some admin things, a little bit of pitching that I wanted to do, but I just ended up with so much on my list that I honestly haven't stopped. I think I started about 8 o'clock this morning. It's now 1:30. I've got plans for the afternoon. So yeah, it's been a very, very full on morning. I still feel like I've got a lot to do. Going on holiday towards the end of next week. And obviously there's the Easter weekend before that. The schools are off, so, you know, it means like a bit of a juggle with childcare, etc. And I just feel like I'm running out of time, to be honest. But it's okay. It always gets done in the end. And it's more, to be honest, ideas that I've got for clients, and I like to sort of execute them all before I go on holiday. So I feel like I've done something for everyone. I'm fully up to speed on everything for all clients, and then I can go off on holiday. And yeah, it's just a bit of a rush getting that done, but all good. And I'm looking forward to the Easter weekend. We've got some nice family plans. The weather looks awful here, storm warnings and everything, so hopefully it won't be too bad. But yeah, I think it's going to be a bit of an indoor weekend at times. It's been a good PR week. I'm trying to think what's happened. I have had some PR success. If there's anything I can think of, I'll post it here in terms of people who have appeared on things or media that's, you know, cropped up, etc. Yeah, I can't think at the moment. There's been a lot going on, people getting booked into things. A lot of what I do is like, it's people getting booked onto things for, you know, a couple of months down the line, or, you know, it's me saying to someone, oh, this person would be great on your podcast, and they say yes. And then we're backwards and forwards on dates, or intro calls taking place, or me introducing people to other people and them, you know, them having intro calls between themselves. So a lot of it's just like, it doesn't all happen, you know, right in that moment when you're working on it. It's things work a bit further down the line. But yeah, it's been a good week, very productive and very busy, and trying to get ready for holiday. I feel like I'm getting there. But yeah, hopefully you found this video helpful, and I shall pop back up very, very soon.